electric.
Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd just come out for a drive and use the car as a recording studio today and try to do a video for you on the differences that I'm experiencing between my old Level 2 Mini, which was a 2020 model, versus this new one, a Level 3, the 2022 model. And as you can see from the title, there's a surprising change that I really didn't expect with this new model LCI. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about the differences between level 2 and level 3 first. So I don't want this video to be just a comparison of specs. I mean, you can go online and go on the Mini website and compare the specs yourself, and you can see a full list of the differences between the different levels of the Mini available in the country wherever you're going to be buying the car. But for me, the difference between the level 2, let's just get them out of the way quick, is the heads-up display, the sunroof, full leather seats, the matrix LED headlights, what else have we got? The park assist, and I'm running out of steam now. There probably are other things, but those are, for me, the key points. Oh, sorry, and the Harman Kardon hi-fi system, of course. So, with those major things, what do I think of them? Well, the sunroof is fantastic because it's great for camera mounting, as you can see. I prefer a light cabin. I prefer darker seats normally, but I don't really like all really dark headlinings. It is nice to have the sunroof to let the light in. I'm a convertible person as well, so if I could have a convertible Mini, I would. I love convertibles and being in the fresh air. So having a sunroof gets you as close as you can to that. I really like that. So sunroof for me is fantastic, and with the sunshade coming across, you know, you can block out the sun if it's too bright. That's really good. The heads-up display, that's a really odd one, because I test drove a Model Y just the other day, a Tesla, and the contrast is phenomenal. You know, it's a huge interior with a big screen, a big single screen, and yet here we are in the Mini with a small compact interior and 3 screens all crammed together. So I've got this one here with all my media and the sat-nav on it. Let's put the sat-nav screen on so we can see roughly where we are. Then you've got the speed and the main dash here in front of you, but just a few inches or even centimeters above is the speed from the heads-up display. So is the heads-up display really worth it when it's so close? So when I'm looking at it, you know, literally my eye gaze is just flicking between 36 miles an hour on the heads-up display, 36 miles an hour on the dash display. The heads-up display is great for things like music tracks. So when you're changing your music track, your list of tracks will come up on the heads-up display, and that saves you looking across at the media screen. But it is really close to this dash, so would I pay for it as a separate extra? Do you know, probably not. It's not that great for me, and I really don't like these Perspex flip-up head-up displays. I had that in my Kona Electric as well, and it's a bit of a novelty to start with, the motor going up and down, and whoops, mind the pheasant. But yeah, I'm not a particular fan. Anyway, the Harman Kardon system, the hi-fi, it is really quite good. To start with, when I got the car, I didn't think the sound quality was that much better at all than my Level 2, and I thought, what a waste this extra hi-fi system is. And then I started to fiddle with it and fine-tune it and play some music tracks that really gave me some depth of bass or some quality of sound that I needed. And now I'm starting to appreciate it. It is clearer, it is crisp, it does have a good bass to it, but it doesn't resonate and make you feel the thump of the bass inside. So it's not as good as some systems that I've tested in other cars. I honestly think the Kona Electric Krell system was better than this, but it is marginal. So would I pay more for the Harman Kardon versus my Level 2 that I had, whatever the standard sound system was? Do you know, probably not. I don't think it's worth the extra money. There aren't enough extra features in there. So a little bit of a shame, I think, that it's not better than I hoped it would be. Anyway, I'm sure people with better ears and better understanding of hi-fi systems will criticise that and tell me in the comments how wrong I am. But there you go, that's my opinion. The seats, however, are well worth the upgrade. They are so much more comfortable. They feel slightly springier, they feel slightly softer, so you don't get as much bum ache on them. It just felt a little bit harder on the level 2 seats that I had, and they were those weave type fabric seats with leather down the side. I really liked the look of those initially, but they're just not as comfortable as these leather seats. And I knew that because Susan has a Mini 7 with full black leather in it, and those are much more comfortable. The difference I noticed though is these Chester satellite ones are sport seats, so there is more side support here than in Susan's 7, which is just a Cooper, not a Cooper S. So these seats are more sporty, but the leather, it really does feel like it's not plasticky. It really does feel like it's not a vinyl leather, and it definitely feels higher quality than the other leathers I've experienced in other cars, which feel thin. You know the difference, that you can tell that it's just a very thin coating of leather that's on there. And the other thing that I like with these mini seats is you don't get sag. So a lot of electric cars, and I've seen it with the Skoda Enyaq and I've seen it with the Kona Electric, just after a few months of use, you'll find some sag on the leather on the seat from where people have been sitting. It's got warm from your bottom, and it stretched the material, and it starts to look second-hand. It starts to look old very, very quickly. Where in the Mini, Susan's Mini 7 with the leather seats, that's a 2017 model. We've done getting on for 16,000 miles in it now. They still look brand new. So the Mini leather and the seats are just a high quality item, and I'm really liking this light coloured interior. I thought I was being brave specifying this Chester leather, but I now wouldn't contemplate having black in here. It is really nice contrast between the black exterior colour and the silvery grey. I don't know why they don't call it white or taupe or something, because it doesn't look silver or grey to me, but it's a lovely colour interior. So there you go, that's the major items covered, isn't it? What else is different between my level 2 and level 3? Well, this I've specified a heated steering wheel on. There's a switch down here on the steering wheel column right next to where the lever is for moving the steering wheel up and down. That is a great option to specify, and wasn't available as an option to specify when I bought the 2020 model level 2. So I'm really pleased to have that. What else has changed? In the level 3 of the LCI, I've got this wider screen now. Where in the older model level 2, I only had a thinner, narrow screen. And that also means I get this split screen facility. So I've got the trip computer, which I can specify what shows in there on this split screen, plus the sat nav over here. That I really would have liked. If I'd have known this split screen was available in the level 3, I might have gone for a level 3 initially, or at least upgraded to the wider screen. This is a really great facility, and I don't know whether everyone realizes, but you can use the speech turn off split screen.
Split screen off.
Turn on split screen.
Split screen on.
So a nice little feature that it's voice controlled as well. I really do like that split screen facility. Oops, just trying to work out where I'm going. One of the things that changed though with the new model, I understand this wider screen now comes with the level 2 as well as the level 3. So it's not an upgrade that I've got because of the level 3, it's an upgrade I've got because it's a later model car. But yeah, the wider screen is definitely worth having. I really, really like it. So pretty much that's it on the features. But what other changes have I experienced? Well, the front end is one of the reasons why I really liked and wanted to change to this newer model car. I liked the old Mini, but it did nag on my mind about the contrast with that grey colour. It's nice having your body colour plus choosing your wing mirrors and your roof as different colours, and then you got piano black. So to add that grey colour that they had on the boot lid handle and also on the front grille, and for the front grille to have so much of the grey was for me a bit OTT. It made it stand out even more than I would have liked. And then of course you got yellow accents as well, so for me it was just too busy. There was too much going on with too many contrasts. So I'm very happy to see in this new model LCI model, that it's gone for piano black instead of the grey. The grille has changed and is less obvious that it's electric. It blends in more with the rest of the Mini lineup, and it has a piano black surround around it. So in a lighter colour, it stands out as a contrast, the black line, but on black it blends. So I like having the midnight black colour because all of the piano black blends to it as well, making it look like a single colour. Now, I'm sure I'm going to forget some of the things that are different between the old and the new and my model and this model, but let's get to some of the things that I've noticed rather than things that I've gone through the spec and ticked what's different. And that is the headlights with the Matrix are just incredibly bright. They really are a good LED light. But there's no front fog lights on this model. So I've got a front fog light switch, but in the manual they refer to it as poor condition lights or something like that. So presumably there are some LEDs in the headlight area that point down and do the same feature as a fog light, but you don't need separate fog lights. So instead of having the fog lights at the front two corners of the front bumper and spoiler area, there's now vents, and the vents let air through to the front wheel area. What the total reasoning is for having that, whether that's aerodynamics, whether that improves it, whether it gets rid of some of the brake dust or cools the brakes, I have no idea what the idea for it is. It might just be a design thing. I know the WLTP range hasn't changed for the car, so it's not a big difference in aero. It is a nice look to the car. I sort of miss the fog lights, but they were a little bit awkward for cleaning as well, so I don't miss them also. So that's a nice change. I haven't actually tried the fog light switch yet to see what difference it makes, but the Matrix LEDs are really, really bright. The only weird thing about it is there is a shadow line that casts across the front of your vision between where the dipped beam would be and where the full beam is. So it's like there's something in the way of the lights projecting out, and I have no idea what that is. Other people have said they've got that same line. It's like a jagged lightning line that comes across, something like that, and looks a little bit odd, but you get used to it. But for how bright the lights are, they are incredible. Some weird things that I've sort of noticed that I can't be 100% certain that the differences is the vents. The vent switches just feel a little bit softer and smoother. I don't know whether they've improved them or whether that's my memory, not having been in my level 2 for 5 months. But they seem a little bit better than what I can remember in my level 2. The switches here around the steering wheel, that's different as well. They're now flush mounted. They were a little bit clunky, and I didn't think they were very good quality previously. So these flush ones, although you'll get your fingerprints over them a little bit more, they work really well, and they still have the same click feel to them. They're not haptic feedback, touch sensitive. They are switches underneath, so that's really nice. And they've blended that as well to the radio buttons, the 1 to 6 here, the programmable buttons, and your mode and your station changes. Those are all now flush buttons rather than actual button switches. So yeah, they're nice. It does look nice and clean. It's a bit annoying that there's still only 6. Why couldn't they give us more if they were redesigning that area? And of course, you've got this new ambient light ring here, which looks like it's got a jagged barcode around it. I'm not a fan of that. I preferred it when it was just a straight illuminated ring. Yes, it was a bit brighter with that ring that went round, but I'm not sure what the purpose of these jagged lines are and what that adds to the car. For me, again, it stands out a little bit too much and it's a little bit too messy. So, it's okay. I'm not necessarily a fan of that. All the other buttons, they all seem about the same. Steering wheel is different, isn't it? It's an upgraded Napa leather steering wheel. It's a bit thicker, but it feels really, really nice. I was a little bit apprehensive that it wouldn't feel as good as the level 2. I thought the level 2 steering wheel was excellent, but no, I'm really, really happy with this. It feels good in my hands. It's nice and soft. It does feel quality. So very, very happy with this. But the ambient light switch here that changes the color ring around here, that seems to move more slowly. And as you change the ambient colors, there's a bit of a lag to it where there wasn't on the level 2. I thought I was going mad, but the dealer reckons they've noticed it too. So it is a little bit slower. Very odd as to why that is. So changes. The tyres on the car are Hankook tyres rather than Goodyear Eagle F1s. I'm not sure of the compound differences between the two sets of tyres, but the car feels good. It handles really good. Exactly the same. Everything feels identical, except except the car goes over bumps better. To start with, I was thinking, am I imagining this? Have I forgotten what it was like to be in my level 2? But no, this new model, this level 3, whether it's the new model or whether it's the level 3 bit, is softer over bumps. So instead of going over a speed bump or a pothole and it goes thump, it's more of a thump. It's just softer. You hit the bump and you can hear it less, you can feel it less, and the car settles immediately like it used to, but it doesn't feel as rock hard. It feels different. Now, is that the softness in the seats? Is that the softness in the tyres? Is that the tyre difference? Or has this LCI model got adaptive suspension instead of sports suspension? Now, I can't find any details about it anywhere. I've had a look at the technical order that went through for the car, and it doesn't mention adaptive suspension. It doesn't mention sports suspension. Now, I know that the older model was definitely listed as having sports suspension. So what has this new LCI Mini got on it? What's different? But whatever it is an improvement. There's no loss of the performance and the handling and the tautness of the car, and it's, you know, going around corners like it's on rails. There's no loss of that at all, but it is definitely a lot better over bumps. And that's the surprise with this. I had no idea that it was just going to be a more comfortable car. So the luxury level and the more comfort level has gone up. And I have seen some reviews that say it's, you know, it's a really hard ride, it's a sporty ride, so it's not suitable for some people. But boy, this is a really comfortable car. And I noticed it with that Model Y Tesla test drive. The Model Y was jiggly, you know, you're constantly doing this all the time. And it didn't settle as it went over a bump. The Mini is a better feeling, more comfortable ride in it, not just a sportiness but actual comfort. So there you go, that's the big surprise. It's the comfort of this suspension in this level 3 latest model LCI Mini Electric, and I have no idea whether it's the level 3, whether it's the seats, the tyres, the suspension, but I suspect it's the LCI. I suspect the suspension is better in this new model car, and they've somehow snuck that in. And anyway, I'm very, very happy about it because it just makes the car better than it was. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've covered enough. I do apologise that there are bound to be some things that I've missed, like the little green symbol that appears in the dash. That's a difference I've noticed. 2 green lines and a car at an angle across it. It's a lane keep assist warning system. So if you go out of lane across the white lines, then the steering wheel rumbles. That didn't happen on my level 2 Mini. So that's either part of a level 3 or part of the new model LCI that it's got that. I haven't found out how to turn it off yet. I haven't gone looking for it. It might be on as standard. I don't know. Now, in my Kona Electric, I hated that feature because it beeped and bonged at you all the time. With this, I don't mind whether it's on or not. The vibration on the steering wheel is so subtle, you get used to it really easily. So it is a good warning, but it's not annoying. So I don't actually mind it being on. So that's a change that I've noticed as well. So if I've missed any more things like that, I do apologise. But I don't want to go reading through all the specs and then tell you every single detail. I want to tell you what it feels like and what you notice, the most obvious things. And hopefully some of those things that I notice are little quirks that you won't find in the spec. But also, if I've missed a couple of spec items and I haven't even noticed them, doesn't really matter. I hope you think so too. I hope you're not too annoyed with that. But thank you so much for watching. This video might be the video that takes us over into 10,000 subscribers. That's a huge, huge number. I had no idea this channel, whether it be for electric cars, solar panels and heating and all those sort of things, could be of interest to that many people. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for clicking like. It is really nice to know that people like these videos. And of course, thank you for subscribing so that you can keep an eye on whether more videos come out that you're interested in watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I'm now going to get out. I've brought it here to try and take some photos. There's a nice backdrop of Cantley British Sugar Works in the background, so a bit of an industrial theme. Maybe I'll get some nice pictures of the car with that as a backdrop. But I've just got to reverse the car up this ramp here without putting it in the river. Anyway, thank you so much for watching again. Take care. See you again soon. Bye for now. And I've forgotten, haven't I? I haven't done a 0 to 60 time in this to see if it's any quicker or not. So, don't want green mode. Let's put it in sport mode. 3, 2, 1, go. That felt pretty quick. Not sure whether that was as quick or faster than the level 2, but it's quite cold outside. I'm at 95% battery. I've got full power, so roads are dry. I think that would have been quite good. You could tell that traction control wasn't reaching the point of slip, so maybe with these new tyres, maybe it's a fraction faster. I can't wait to have a look at the video and see if I can work out was that faster or not than what I had in my level 2.